What is going on, you guys? My name is Elena and welcome to my channel. I wanted to get on here and formally introduce myself and get into the history, how I got into competing, how many shows I've done, and what I'm planning to do moving forward with this channel, and as far as the current situation in the world right now. Right now, today is March 25th, 2020, and everything is closed. Gyms are closed, parks are closed, and access to workouts has been a little bit challenging. And so at this time, I'm still trying to do a cut because I was in the middle of a contest prep, and my contest that I was planning on competing in for the wellness division of the NPC was canceled. So it's been a whole ordeal trying to figure out what I'm doing, how to stay on track, and how to keep your mindset positive when it seems like it's coming at all angles, and it's really, really difficult to keep that positivity. I started competing about 6 or 7 years ago now, and I fell in love with my first show. I brought myself into competition shape without much knowledge. I knew my way around the gym, and I just cut really hard for about 12 weeks. That's a generous amount of time that I was seeing came to me from other girls in the gym who were bikini competitors, and they were looking at me asking like if I was a competitor, if I was planning for a show, and I was like, what do you mean planning for a show? And I got to watch both of them compete at a local show, and I was like, I can do this. So without further ado, I looked at shows in the area. There happened to be one in Tennessee, which is not where I'm from. I'm from Manassas, Virginia, and I have family who live in Tennessee, so I was like, we can make a double whammy out of it. I kind of didn't want local friends to come to my first show. I was very, very nervous, but I ended up placing third in the novice division, I ended up placing third in the open and first in the taller height class for figure, and I was hooked from that first show. Going into my second show, I had a coach. I mean, hindsight is 2020, didn't give me the best chance, which is just like a live and you learn. And I think I can get into later on exactly what went wrong with that prep, but needless to say, I didn't look as good as I did in the first show. I came into that show learning a lot, learning more so what not to do versus what to do. So with every prep I've had, every cut, every bulk, you learn so much. And one of the fun things about competing is that you're testing yourself. You change over time, and you have to really figure out how to reinvent the wheel over time. So that's really cool. And I love that about competing, that it's really genuinely an individual sport. There's no right or wrong cookie cutter way to go about it. And the path that you have to take to get to this stage is individual for every competitor. And I really like that. Also, after that second show, I was like, I don't want to work with anybody. I want to look better than I've ever looked before. I know that I competed at the NPC Capital Grand Prix, which was in Laurel, Maryland, back in 2015. And I did another show 1 week after. So I did back-to-back peak weeks, which was brutal, but I ended up looking better than I've ever looked before for that Jay Cutler Richmond show, and loved it. Got to meet Jay Cutler. That was super cool. I've met so many other competitors along the way that all come from different walks of life. And that's another thing, the camaraderie that you get with competing. You don't really see that in other sports, and you think that when you go in, everyone's going to be like a pageant or rude or maybe like kind of irritating, but no, overall I've seen the kindest competitors come through, which is amazing. Really supportive, because we're all there. It's up to the judges to decide who looks the best on that given day. And it is a subjective sport, but ultimately it's out of the competitor comes, you bring a package and either you win or you lose, which can be kind of brutal, but also it's clear cut and it's direct, and I love that. You get feedback on what to improve on and so many other things that you really have to keep in mind to improve over time. And so after those 2 shows, I had qualified for nationals. I was getting consecutive first place placements, and I decided that year I was going to go for nationals. And in 2016, July 4th or 5th of 2016, I competed at the Team Universe in New Jersey. So that's a national show. There were stacked girls in my height class, and ultimately I think for that show I realized I was not big enough for figure, and that kind of hit me in a low blow type of way, because I didn't see myself as a bikini competitor. My legs are pretty developed, a little overdeveloped for bikini, and this fast forward, I've taken a couple of years off, and fast forward to now, we have wellness, and I'm really, really excited for this division because it seems to encapsulate my body type really well. So you're looking at a smaller upper body and still a developed lower, and I'm leg dominant. What was holding me back for figure was my shoulder development, and the balance to my upper body and my lower body. So for figure, you really want to have an X frame. So when you think of it, it's the symmetry from top to bottom, and I just didn't have that. I was a little leg dominant, and I just couldn't bring up my upper body in a way that was going to ever make me successful for figure. And I still love the competition aspect of things, and taking a couple of years off, I think I've been able to really hone in on being a successful athlete in the off season. I don't really think that there should be. It's more just a lifestyle that you embrace. The difficulties right now, I still want to cut because I had gotten significantly far. I had dropped 8 pounds in the first 4 weeks of my diet, and I really wanted to keep going and push forward and see how my overall look would be at a lower weight. Maybe not getting competition lean, but just maintaining or sculpting a smaller body size. I think that might be a little bit better for me, thinking of wellness, and also nailing the posing. Posing is completely different for wellness than it is for figure. It is similar to bikini, but a little bit different. And I'm doing my best to go to posing seminars, to listen to judge feedback, to watch the girls who are winning overall at national shows. That's the best I can do for right now. And yeah, so what you're going to hopefully see from this channel is my journey and my story. This is going to help keep me accountable and help me share the things that I've learned over time. I want to go into how I go into structuring my workouts, because I do everything myself. I don't have anyone writing this out for me, and that's something I've also really enjoyed, having that control. Hopefully you all are going to stick around. Please like, comment, subscribe. It's really going to help me know what you guys want to see moving forward. And that's really it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.